What's going on, guys? It's Greg from East Coast Dyes, back with another head review. This one is the Under Armour Command Low. This one came out a little while ago, but was a really exciting release for a lot of people. It doesn't look a ton like the first Command, but it does share a lot of the features, so we'll kind of get into that. The price on this is $99.99, just under $100. You're seeing most Elite heads now come out in the $85 to $100 range, so I think that's fair for an Elite head. This one, being the Command Low, was obviously geared more towards a low pocket. So that's going to be some midfielders, but a lot of attackmen. The thing I noticed as soon as this head came out and Under Armour was prototyping it, that a lot of the players on Maryland, Towson, Loyola, and Notre Dame, they started to switch pretty much immediately, because I think the Command's a great head, but for a lot of those attackmen, it was a little clunky, and the bottom rail just didn't fit well for the attackman that wanted to cradle one-handed and feed a lot. The Command works well for a ton of positions, including LSM, so I don't think attack was one. So as soon as this came out, you saw pretty quick adoption at the highest level, which definitely tells you something about the head itself. As far as styling, pretty much everything looks almost exactly like the Command, except for the sidewall strut pattern. And that's why people are a little confused, because you usually tell what head another one is by the sidewall strut pattern, and them both being called Commands, but having drastically different patterns is a little confusing. But clearly they went way more minimal in this one, just two struts all the way at the bottom of the head to help distribute the weight more towards your top hand. Other than that, it's almost exactly the same besides the front jewel. This little logo used to just be imprinted in the head, and now it's got kind of a black textured look with some chrome, which is a nice little upgrade and does look a lot nicer. But other than that, top to bottom, pretty much the same. Still has the same glide scoop, which I think is almost everyone's favorite scoop in the game. It's just this one really solid, really smooth face with recessed stringing holes, and it's been around ever since the Command, and people really seem to love it, so no reason to mess with that for the Command Low. So the big change you're going to see is in this side face profile. Similar offset at the top, but where the Command had more of a mid placement that went flat for a while, this one has this long, gradual, steep slope down into probably the lowest bottom rail peak of any head. It's really only maybe 2 inches from the bottom, and that really helps you center down that low pocket and create a very long, smooth release where the ball is not going to just snap out. It's going to have this longer release from the bottom. So here's one that's strung, and I think that this head has strung a mid-low pocket easier than any head I've ever strung, even than the Optic. The Optic is traditionally what people have gone to if they wanted that lower pocket, but I think this almost even works a little bit better. It's got this really gradual face shape, different from the Command, which is a little higher and a little more pinched. This brings the pinch point down, slopes out gradually, and works perfectly with that bottom rail. So the stringing, there's nothing crazy to talk about there. The holes are fine, there's a lot of them. They're round, no problems, and it's mostly based on the face shape and that bottom rail shape. So you get a really nice mid-low pocket that can shift down, shift up just a little bit to the middle of the head, but you can see it wants to sit right where that bottom rail peaks out, and that creates a really nice long narrow channel that with the face shape it's not so tight that it's going to catch the ball. Sometimes if you try and string a tight channel in a low pocket, it gets really tight and V-shaped and narrow by the end, but this one forms a really nice U-shaped balls width channel that just slopes gradually, really accurate feeds, and easy one-handed cradling up to shooting, up to passing, up to feeding. So overall, this head is probably one of my favorite for attackmen right now. I think it's just really smooth, really easy, and you don't have to think about it. It just works really well. So that's definitely what I recommend it for. Feeding attackmen who like to cradle one-handed, roll, and dodge behind the X, I think it's perfect for those guys. So let me know what you think down in the comments, how you like the Command Low. Make sure to like it if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't, and have a great day.